Questions?
I have one. You kept talking about the Fairmont Quadrangle. I'm not sure, you probably told us what that entailed, or how big of a place is that?
It covers most of the plateau, and it extends over into Sequatchie a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it includes Sequatchie and Hamilton County. And any of these documents that I presented, the LiDAR, I'm more than happy to give copies to anybody that's interested. We're going to try to put this on YouTube so that the rest of the community can see it. And anybody who would like to come to my property and visit these openings and look at what we're dealing with, I'm more than happy to tour any one of my property anytime you want. Just call me and we'll make arrangements. Yes, ma'am.
So on the slide that you have the three types of things that we can do,
Yeah.
the types of testing of the land.
Yes.
Could you explain each one of those a little bit more and kind of the cost?
Okay.
Or
The costs
how
are going
they're done, or who decides to do which one, and which one maybe has better, which one has a better
Okay.
outcome?
Now, seismography is done by drilling test holes and putting some sort of sound generator in that hole and then putting microphones at a distance. The sound reflections that are produced are then integrated to form a picture of the strata that you're looking at. That's the seismology. The ground penetrating radar is sending signals into the ground and then watching the signals return. The depth of that technology, I don't believe, can go much more than 100 feet. The seismography can go down thousands of feet. That technology is expensive, and you're going to look at probably a $30,000 or $40,000 cost to do that, but the information it will produce will be beneficial for the mountain for the rest of the existence that we're here. So and again, I'm not a geologist. We have people here in the community who have people in geology. I would love to have a geologist up here. I've tried to get TDEC people to come up. I tried to get the local geologists to come up. They don't want to touch this. It's a hot potato. You know, people are going to go nuts. They're going to think, oh, you're going to ruin my property values. Oh, you're going to drive everybody else away. That's not my intent. Like I said, I know more people are going to move up here. I just want it to be done in a way that doesn't put the rest of us at hazard. Again, anything I can provide, any information I can give you, just ask.
What happens when the hill that the lines of working property is sitting on is level?
Well, that was the illustration I tried to give.
Just
Once they damage that surface, the permeation properties, where water goes, where fluids go, how fast they go, all that changes. Because the structures are rigid right now, but once they begin disturbing that surface, all bets are off. And if you know the way the geography of the mountain is set up there, all of that material is going to go down Timesville, it's going to go down Lewis Mine, and it's going to end up in Rainbow Lake, and then end up in the river. I have the River Gorge people looking at my property in terms of including it into a trust to try to protect it, and that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to protect my property by turning it into an environmental easement so that no one can ever develop on that again. And that's because it's just so fragile, it makes no sense. When I put my home up, I took a year hiking it to try to figure out where I could put a home that didn't disturb as little land as possible. Developers come in, they don't care what's there. They're just going to grind it off and put up houses. And each of those situations create water problems, create safety problems, and there's just, I would like to see an environmentalist on the Planning Commission because they have only developers and builders on the Planning Commission. And that represents a significant problem for an environment like we're dealing with.
The Planning Commission does not give a you-know-what. I went to them and begged them because they're developed right across from my yard. I talked about the infrastructure. I talked about the septic stuff. They practically laughed in my face. They are in bed with developers, and I don't understand why Walden, Signal Mountain, Sequatchie County, why can't all the leaders come together and do something instead of letting these old boys sitting down there, a few people just giving up our mountain because they're so greedy?
Talk to Mr. Burke and Mr. Carpenter. They're the ones that appointed these people. They're the ones that you need to put the fire to. The state has already told me, we won't do anything for you, you've got to get the county to do it for you.
They're not gonna do it.
Well,
All
that's
they
why
see
I'm
is
saying,
dog parks.
that's why the community has to be proactive in this, because we can't expect government to do it.
I've tried.
I appreciate that. No, I am too. It's just it's a hard game. Yes, sir.
Well, the one coal mines that come out of this mine goes right under the highway, under Limes Orchard. Used to be a grocery store there when I was a kid, Wright's Groceries. My dad worked that coal mines, and he said when they take their lunch, they could hear the cars and they could hear the people talking. And then one of my uncles said that they did blow out the side of the mountain over there. That's how far they went.
And then you're the third person that's giving me that story.
And it was always called Old Cherokee Mines, but it went for like 2 miles out there. And there's rooms that went off of it that goes all the way up under.
Here's what TDAC has told me about those stories. They said, if you can document those stories, we'll come back and we'll redo the survey. So that's what the first point was. I need to have those stories because I gotta convince the TDAC people that we've got this issue here. And that's not to say, I'm at the point where I kinda love TDAC. They handed me these documents, they didn't have to do that. And they opened up my eyes, and when Haslam left office in 2018, he signed some legislation that changed the nature of coal mine control in the state. And now, all the coal mine and strip mine work is on TDAC's back. They've driven out the federal government. Well, at this point, the federal government wouldn't be any help, but TDAC is not in a position to move legislation. That's something that we're gonna have to do as a community, through our politicians, to try to get this kind of legislation in place, because with 112 coal seam fires going on in the country, you would think that they would be prepared to acknowledge this as a significant hazard. It's crickets talking to them. So, this is why I'm here. This is why I want to get you people riled up, because we need help to keep this from going totally crazy. Because once LOP starts, there's no stopping the development all the way up the highway. And the deceptiveness of the comments about what his plans were, and the way he caught himself, well, this is the initial, and he caught himself. They have the greater plans than what they're talking about up there. So,
If it's approved,
if it's approved,
then there's 40 more acres right across from Ace Hardware.
yep.
If they approve that, then there'll be discrimination lawsuits from Walmart or whatever corporation wants to come in and build all the way up there. Walden's Ridge just opened it up for a big can of worms, what they're gonna do.
So
I live right at Timesville, right across from mine, so
Correct.
I've had a water problem for 50 years because of the elevation. And when they come in there and cut that, like you said, everything's gonna go to this mine, right to Middle Creek, right on down to Rainbow Lake, and right in the river.
And you appreciate that the coal seam extends under the vet clinic and the mall, the little town center there. I mean, it keeps me up at night. It keeps me up. My wife says, we gotta get something done here, or you're never gonna sleep again. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, how many people does it take to get the attention of TDAC to do an environmental impact study? That's one. Two, can the town of Walden or Signal Mountain or Hamilton County require one before development is done and put that into their land use plan? Because those be things that are put into existing documents. So it's like, how many people and how many people do we need to shout, or how many signatures, or what do we need to do to make them do at least an environmental impact study that is within the last 5 years, that is recent, like not 10 years ago. So that we can have
the sad answer to that is, we really don't have any levers except political levers and legal levers. The legal levers are a class action lawsuit. But that unfortunately would end up being brought against Walden. But we have to, if we can get to the developer with a lawsuit, then that's a better approach. We're studying those situations. What can we do legally in terms of preventing this? But, you know, we would rather have Walden refuse it and then put pressure on the Regional Planning Commission to write a new plateau plan that talks about coal mines. That's the best solution.
Well,
But
I think there should not be any development without an environmental impact study. I don't care who you are, I don't care what developer you are, if you've got something and you care about the future of your children and your life and everything that exists above greed, well above greed, you need to do an environmental impact study.
Amen.
I mean, you don't have to be bright to figure that out.
well, if you're there to make money, it's not always what you
Well,
want to
I'm
hear.
not saying they're always the brightest light bulbs in the box, those who make a lot of money, you know? So, that's my thoughts.
So what's the meeting next Tuesday then?
The meeting next Tuesday is going to allow everybody, quote unquote, from the plateau to give a 3-minute comment on the proposal. And it started out that I was going to make a presentation to the Walden board, but then they turned it into a 3-minute thing, and that's when I decided to stand up and have this session because I knew I needed more time than 3 minutes. So Tuesday is going to be supposedly Walden citizens get to be first, and there's supposed to be a yes and no combination of things. Mr. Anderson supposedly is going to defend comments that are being made, and then either after that or before that, the Walden board's going to have their regular session. On the 10th of October is when the first reading for this proposal will be done. So we have another 8 weeks to really work on this, but really on Tuesday, I would like as many people to stand up and give their opinions now that you know kind of what this is about. And that's Tuesday. And the more they hear, the better off we'll be.
Where are they gonna hold that?
Here,
Right here.
right here at 6:30. Come early, because there's going to be a sign-up sheet for comments. And so we've got a group of people that have been working on this. We've parceled out different issues to different individuals. Hopefully they'll be able to get up and give their pitch. We've got people talking about traffic, about where the grocery stores are needed, what housing is going to be. You know, there's the VC1 proposal is riddled with discrepancies and lies, and really that's probably a whole nother discussion that would need to be done. But the town board really doesn't want extensive discussion, to be honest with you. Yes, sir.
I couldn't tell from the picture or whatever the map was that had the red and showed up. Did we build the high school on a coal seam?
You did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, high school, by the way, the gas pipeline was over the coal seam. And that gas pipeline was one of the things that the Reagan's people decided they were going to put homes next to. And I think that turned into a bad idea because it never happened. And as a related point, a man died up at that property because he was dumping gasoline on a fire and exploded on him. I don't know if anybody knew that. But yeah, a man died up on the Rains Hill. He tried to light a fire, it exploded on him, and he burned to death. That's the kind of event that you can't predict, you can't put into calculations, and if you happen to be on the coal seam, we'd all be going crazy.
When did that happen?
2006. So, and again, these events, you know, that's the scary thing. We have, as I came out of Timesville this afternoon to come here, there was a car accident right at the corner of Taft Highway and Timesville. It was a minor fender bender, but if you have a fuel truck and a car have an accident there, whole different story. Whole different story. So, well, thank you for coming. Again, my name is Tony Wheeler. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Nextdoor. If you'd like to talk to me directly, please don't hesitate.
Are these handouts also available on Facebook?
I have a comment. I've been involved with the studying of this, and Walden has no land use plan. That's what we